Hi there, it's the 15th of September 2021, and we're going to look at a couple of decaying systems of Nicholas and Chanthu and the developments going on off the coast of Africa. Here's an infrared loop of the last 48 hours showing Nicholas landfall in Texas, and you can see the high clouds getting sheared off, and the low center looks like you can just make it out in the light grays, sort of circulating off here towards the end. With such a messy appearance, you might be wondering why Nicholas was declared a hurricane, and this is the radar loop as the storm made landfall and during the time it was declared a hurricane. Actually, a weather flow station at Matagorda Bay, Texas did report sustained winds of 66 knots, which is hurricane force, and based on that observation, Nicholas was upgraded to a hurricane. It looks like Nicholas's heavy rain will be edging eastward into Mississippi and then into Alabama, with rain accumulation over 3 days. You've got a peak in Mississippi here of, wow, that's 350 millimeters. That's pretty solid. I'll change that to inches. There we go. 14 inches is a peak there in Mississippi, so a pretty serious amount of rain. Far to the east of Nicholas, out in the western Atlantic, we've got another disturbance, which the National Hurricane Center actually give this one a 60% chance of development in the next 48 hours. You can see the trough in the initial field for the European Center medium range weather forecast, but it's not hugely exciting. It does develop a little bit, but then it trundles along the east coast. We'll keep an eye on it. Over Africa, we're watching out for this low pressure system that's developing, and that is just to the south of the Cape Verde Islands, which is this group of islands up here. And this is associated with an easterly wave that came off Africa. You can see other stuff trundling off. Another one here, and is this another one perhaps? And these are all potential tropical developments. In fact, we'll see that the next one develops into a system too. Here's a closer look at that wave to the south of the Cape Verde Islands, and you can just make out a bit of rotation there. It doesn't got a huge amount of thunderstorms, but the seed is there, and this will be enough to probably develop the system into a tropical system over the next few days. Well, looking at the European Center model, the system is down here. As you can see, it's sort of rotating around like that very weakly. The storm doesn't really develop too much in the European Center model, but it does stay there as a signature wandering across. The winds pick up a bit, and it probably tropical storm in the model forecast as we look at it right now. But meanwhile, there is another system that's associated with the next easterly wave that is developing. This one develops into the weekend according to the European Center model. You know, it's been there in the last few runs, so it seems like it's fairly consistently being generated in the model, and this is now looking at Saturday, and the system develops into a probably very marginal tropical storm, almost there, that heads in towards the Cape Verde Islands. It does take an interesting passage up towards the northwest rather than off to the west so much. It does pick up in the model too. That's well into tropical storm now as it goes up towards the northwest. So another interesting system to watch, and as I said, it has been quite consistently being formed in the models. Out in the West Pacific, we've still got Chanthu churning away as a tropical storm, but it has basically killed itself by going stationary. It's used up all the energy in the ocean that's available to it, and it's gradually decaying. But now it's going to be picked up by this approaching trough and shoved up into the Sea of Japan. And I'm up here, so I'm hoping to get some rain off this. So let's see what's going to happen to this thing. This is the GFS forecast, and the storm comes up, hits South Korea, and then actually gives rain to most of Japan. A secondary low pressure does form off the east coast of Japan, and that is actually bringing heavy rain into Hokkaido near where I am in this model run. Here's the European Center rain and thunderstorm forecast, and Chanthu is down here churning away South Korea, Japan, Hokkaido. And actually the European Center model takes the storm on a similar track, but it goes up through Japan, but it impacts Hokkaido, where I am, a bit less. So that's a bit disappointing for me, because I want to see some bad weather. But anyway, on that note, I will see you in the next one.